everyone. Welcome to Cards and Coffee with Sarah Lynn Duque, and I am from Sarah Lynn Stamps. You'll find me on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube as Sarah Lynn Stamps. And you have found us here for Cards and Coffee, which happens every Wednesday at noon right here on my page. We just get together over our lunch hour, make a really quick and easy card in 15 minutes or less. So today I am going to be pulling out sort of an oldie. It's not really old, but a Whale Done. Oh, I think I called it Whale of a Time in my description, but it's the Whale Done stamp set that we're going to be playing with today. I love this stamp set. I've made some cards with it in the past that are some of my favorite cards, actually, and I wish I would have pulled them out. Let's see if I can find them here quickly in my little stash. These are a couple of them that I made in the past. This one was one that I cased off of another demonstrator, and I don't have her name with me. I apologize. And then there was this one here where we white embossed in the back with the jellyfish, and I created the card here. And I have some other ones, but I'm not sure where they are at this exact moment. But anyways, I love this stamp set. I have created a number of cards that I absolutely love, but I haven't played with it for probably like at least 2 or 3 months, if not longer. And so I thought today is the day. So I'm glad you're here with me, and let's just get cracking. So we are going to, I have here my Stampin' Pierce, I can't remember what it's called, the Stampin' Pierce and something matte. This is new in the new catalog. It's $7, and it's great when you're using photopolymer stamps. So photopolymer stamps are the clear stamps. You can see mine are well used in this set, but they're the clear stamps, and so they don't have the regular cushion on them like the cling mount stamps do. And so sometimes you'll find when you stamp with them on a hard surface, you don't get the image that you were hoping for. So I really like to have a mat underneath. So I have this mat here out of the current catalog. The other thing is, if you have a Stamparatus, there's a mat that comes with that works perfectly for this as well. If you don't have either of those things, don't worry about it. Sometimes I just grab a stack of copy paper to put underneath my work surface, or even your catalog will really make a big difference. So those are a few things that you can use to get a really good stamp with your photopolymer stamps. Now you're gonna have to ignore my fingers. When I was opening my ink pads this morning, I like dropped one and grabbed it with my hand. And so it's all over my hands and my fingers and under my nails. Like, I did a really good job this morning with that. So it's everywhere. So you're going to have to just ignore my little mess I got going on here. But I'm going to just pull a scrap piece of paper here and put it over my mat. And so what I have is I have 3 pieces of white, and they all measure 1 1/4 by 3 3/4, I believe. Let me just double check that for you. Or 2 3/4. Sorry, 2 3/4 by 1 1/4 is what each of these measures. And we're going to stamp these 3. And so I sort of already have my stamps out here. The colors we're using today are Misty Moonlight, Mint Macaron, I got that one the other way, and Calypso Coral. Okay, so I've got my 3 ink pads right up here above my, I guess, my screen. So I'll try to pull them down as I use them. I'm going to go ahead and pull in the whale, and I'm going to just tap it here on my ink pad, and then off to the one side of one of my pieces, I'm going to just stamp that. Okay, so we've got a whale right there. In the same color, I'm going to take the phrase that says Whale Done. And that's this one. There's a couple of really cute little puns and fun words in here, but we're going to use the one that says Whale Done here, but you could substitute these for any of the other sayings that you like that's applicable to your, I guess, what's going on at that moment in time. And we're going to stamp this just kind of, I mean, you could stamp this on any of them. I just sort of have my brain likes to work in order, and so I know how I want these pieces to go, and that's just how it's thinking at the moment. So that's all we're going to do with our Misty Moonlight. I'm going to pull in our Mint Macaron, and we are going to take our turtle, and I've just pulled out one of my old paper pumpkin blocks here, and I am going to stamp my turtle off to the side of this one here, just like that. And then I am also going to use, I have this little coral piece. It's hard to see here on the stamp, but this one down here is the piece that I'm going to use. And I'm going to stamp it in the mint macaron as well, and it's going to go right up here on the top by the whale done. Okay, so now we've got that done. So I'd like to bring in a little bit more color to my card, and so I've decided to do that with Calypso Coral, and I really kind of like sort of the sharp contrast of just little pops of color added to your cards. It just makes a big difference. And so how I've decided to do that is with the fish stamp, and you can see I got a little bit here on my block previously. And so I'm just going to give that a little wipe with a baby wipe. But we're just going to tap that on here. And I'm going to stamp this just off to the bottom of the turtles here again. Just like that. So a little bit off of the white piece. Then I'm going to take my fish again, and I'm actually just going to flip them around so they're going the other direction. So I love about these fish. They can go either way and look just great. And I'm going to just stamp these ones up here. And I know you're all shocked, Amy, that we haven't got any pale apple pie today. I honestly consciously think about that sometimes when I'm like, pale apple pie. I'm like, no, we did that last time, and I know I'm going to hear about it from Amy. Just joking. We all have those colors that we're drawn to. And pale apple pie is definitely my new favorite. So now I have the little heart right here in the center. And I'm going to again use the Calypso Coral, and I'm going to just tap, tap, tap. And you'll see here that sometimes I use both sides of my blocks. I don't have a million blocks, and so I just kind of reuse them. And I'm going to just stamp that up here, kind of onto where I've got my little coral going on there as well. Cute, hey? So we've got all our colors, and I know now you can't really imagine where I'm going with this, but let's move on to the next stage of our card. Okay, so we've got our 3 stamps, and this is a really fun, easy card that I think would be great for any age and any gender. I think it would be well received by any of the people that you love in your life, or don't love, that you feel obligated to give a card to. Okay, I'm just going to close these so that I don't wear them any more than I already have. All right, let's set those aside. Okay, so I don't need my mat anymore. That is all the stamping we are going to do today. This is a really fun and easy card. We've got our 3 white pieces stamped. So I'm going to bring in a piece of, this is the what is this called? Seafoam Green, that's what it's called. The soft sea foam. And it measures 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And I've also got a piece of the soft succulent in color shimmer vellum. Isn't that gorgeous? Like, can you see that in the calendar, or in the camera? It's just really pretty. So this is going to kind of add some texture to our card. Sometimes when we just use plain cardstock, it can look a little bit flat. And so some of the ways that you change that is by using dimensionals or ribbon, something that has a little bit of texture and dimension to it. You could add some, another thing that would go really nicely with this card is frosted up clear epoxy droplets. Like, they look like little water droplets. I think those would look really pretty as well. And we have some new ones that actually look like raindrops. I don't have any of those, but those would look pretty. But I am going to throw in this vellum here as another layer to add a little bit of texture and interest and dimension when the card moves, so that it doesn't look quite as flat. Now I've got a little spot here on my cardstock, so I'm going to make that the back. All right, so this is just a regular card base that measures 5 1/2 by 11, no, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. This is just one piece of cardstock cut in half. So I've just given it a little bit of a fold, and now I'm just going to burnish it with my bone folder to make sure that it stays really nice. This is going to go on like this. This is going to go over top, and then these 3 layers are going to go on here. Okay, so I'm going to you kind of see where I'm going here. I'm going to sort of just kind of stagger these up like this. So now I just need to decide how I want to adhere this. And I'm pretty sure, if you know me, I'm going to use some dimensionals here. So let's take some dimensionals and add them to the back of these pieces. We'll just take a couple for each one. Maybe I'll put 3. I don't really like saggy centers on my cardstock here. And I feel like one of these has the plastic on both sides. There we go. Okay. I ripped a hole right in the middle of my dimensionals. So, okay, let's put 3 on each. You could also just, they have foam adhesive strips that are really handy as well. You just put a strip down each side, rather than individual dots, and it's a lot faster. But this is what we're doing today. Okay. All right. Aren't you glad you joined me to watch me put on dimensionals? All right, let's take a look at what we're doing here. This one is going to kind of go in the middle, and this one's going to go at the top. So let's just stick this one on. I'm just going to lightly place them in case I decide I want to move something. And I'm just going to kind of alternate them a little bit back and forth, like so. I think I might tick that one. I'll put it over top. All right, how do we feel about that? I feel like it's not centered. Let's move this one up just a tad. And I want that one to be on top of this turtle one because it's the sentiment. So we are going to just go like this. And then we're going to add our whale down here. All right, so I know that they're not all even, but that is also going to add a little bit of interest to our card, just putting them at an angle. We could change this up a little bit so the gaps are a little bit more even, but I actually am quite happy with that. So we're going to add here this to our vellum as well with dimensionals. Where did those go? And I want to just, the reason I'm doing that partly is because that allows some of the light to kind of move on top of our vellum so that the sparkle is going to hit more light. If this was kind of flat on here, we wouldn't have a lot of light exposure on our glitter. And it just wouldn't sparkle as much. And, you know, we all need a less of sparkle in our life. So with our seal, I'm going to just add some strips right here. So this is going to be hidden behind this cardstock, so I'm not worried about it shining through. And we are going to adhere this to our card front. So there you are, people. There's a quick and easy card with the Whale Done stamp set. And I really love these colors. What do you think? I think the Calypso Coral kind of makes the card, to tell you the truth. And of course, we got the shimmer vellum going on here. So I've added some links in the description for you if you're interested in looking at any of these products. I also wanted to mention that as a reminder, right now we have got the Connect, Craft, and Collect promotion, which is for hostesses. So whether you or on your own, a group of friends, or you'd actually like to have a workshop where we get together and stamp, you can earn an additional $30 in bonus hostess benefits when your event reaches $300. So something to keep in mind. But thank you guys for joining me. I love stamping with you on Wednesdays at lunch. A really quick and easy, fun card. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you have any questions or comments or thoughts, leave them in the comments and I'd be happy to respond. Happy stamping. Have a great day. Bye.